We all know women in the workforce. Most of us are women in the workforce. So what's the problem? First, let's backtrack. At the beginning of the contemporary feminist movement, a third of the workforce was already made up of women. One reason women actually started joining the workforce was because of the depressed economy during World War II, when women had to start taking on some more traditional male roles to keep society running. This work was often in factories, rarely in leadership, and at the time, women made less than half of male wages. They also had to work first shift in the factories and second shift at home, taking care of their children and household. This hasn't changed a whole lot today. Also, the influx of white women to daytime jobs led to many black women becoming caretakers for their children, which they worked for very low wages, and this also reinforced harmful stereotypes. Reformists wanted liberation, but what they meant by that was access to high-paying careers that were at the time taken mostly by men. They didn't really think about the general masses of women who didn't have education or desire to work these types of jobs. Still, this call for reform did affect everyone in the fight for equal pay and allowed many women to join the workforce. Protests led to more rights and better salaries and laws against discrimination, which is great, but there is still gender discrimination in the workplace today. Because women legally can't be discriminated against in the workplace now, lots of people think feminism is outdated and unnecessary. This is sad because it's just not true for a lot of reasons. Specifically in the workplace, though, women are still not paid equally, making 73 cents to the male dollar. Oh, yeah! Economic dependence on patriarchy makes it hard to realize true liberation. As Bell Hooks says, most women now know what some of us knew when the movement began, that work would not necessarily liberate us, but that this fact does not change the reality that economic self-sufficiency is needed if women are to be liberated. So we have to ask ourselves the question, what type of work is liberating? Is work liberating at all? And what is real liberation? Women need to be self-sufficient economically in order to be free from male domination. Even when working, this often isn't an option due to low wages, long hours, and the realities of the white supremacist capitalist patriarchy. Bell Hooks thinks some ways to fight this are to spend money on welfare instead of warfare. Did you know we currently spend almost $600 billion every year on warfare? She also thinks we need to give higher wages to teachers and service workers, give some kind of subsidization to parents working in the home, access to educational and degree programs in the home, and destigmatizing welfare by giving all people access to a year or two of aid if unable to find a job, making it easier for men to be on welfare, making welfare no longer a race issue, an ability issue, or a gender issue. This will allow everybody to be a little bit freer economically. We have to start thinking in new ways about the relationship between liberation and work. Focusing on economic self-sufficiency at the front of feminism can unite us all, bring us to liberation, and allow people to have the resources to fully resist the white supremacist capitalist patriarchy.